Welcome everyone. Today is January the 24th, 2025, and this is part one of the seeds haul. So behind me is the rest. Now, I want to show you what I got. Prices were amazing, but I want to show you what I got just in case there's some varieties maybe you haven't heard of and it's something you might want. But mainly, I want to first help people understand duty fees, especially if you have not been charged duty fees through customs, because I know there's a lot of people who are shocked when they order something and then they don't get their package unless they pay a whole bunch of money upon delivery. So first I just want to go through that. So when I'm just in my kitty's playroom, they have their own playroom, they have their own bed. So I have my coconut, she's a calico. No, she's a tortoise. She's had her for 14 years. So I took her in off the street when she was just a tiny little baby kitten. So anyways, just in case you're wondering, yeah, that's my kitty. And it was a little difficult working around her because she likes to help. But anyways, she's old and she's resting. So my seeds were shipped in these bubble mailers, which is great. But there's two of them, and then they were put in this plastic shipping bag, which is perfectly fine. But what happens is if you order something or you're gifted something outside of your country, sometimes your government will charge you duty fees. Usually if someone ships you a gift, you don't pay, but there's times when I've had to pay duty and it said it was a gift because it was a gift. So you just never know. And what happens is when you purchase something, sometimes you'll be charged duty, sometimes you won't. Technically, they're supposed to charge a duty fee on everything that comes in, but they usually don't because it's too much work, too much paperwork, and it's unreasonable. So often they usually will charge duty fees if it's over a certain value, like over $100 or $100 and some dollars, they'll charge you duty. But technically, they can on any value. So I ordered my seeds and they came in and it had this paper on it. So I have to pay $41.37 to the government, or they will not give me my package. They will ship it back, even though I paid for it. They won't allow me to have it unless I pay them a fee. It's kind of like a mafia. Anyways, I get upset because it's unreasonable. We're taxed to death here. We're taxed, and then we have tax on a tax. And inflation is so bad, and our food prices, living costs, hydro rates, everything is increased, and it's so hard just to get by and to live. And the homeless rate, the poverty rates are massively increasing. It's horrible. So if somebody below the poverty line is ordering seeds to grow food because they can't afford it, you should not be charging them a fee for trying to grow food because they can't afford the inflation prices that the government caused. Anyways, so, when I pay these duty fees, they're taking my money and, we know where it's going, in their pocket or wasted on something or shipped to another country. So I get upset because it's unreasonable and we should not have to pay a duty fee, especially on things like seeds so you can grow food. Anyways, so I just want to make sure people understand that if you receive something from another country, even if it's just in the country next to you. So when I receive things from the United States, sometimes I have to pay duty fees, sometimes I don't. And same thing, if somebody from Canada sends something to the US, you may be charged duty fees. Even if it says on there it's a gift, sometimes you do. So the problem that I don't like, well, there's many, but one major thing I don't like is that you don't know if you're going to be charged duty fees until they actually deliver it to your door and tell you, oh, you owe this amount of money. If you don't give it to us, we hold your package and we ship it back so you don't get it. So, yesterday, mail comes and he's like, oh, you have to pay $41.37. Well, I just got back from the dentist and I got a little bit of stuff at the grocery store next door to it. I had $45 left and I had things I have to pay. $45. It's not going to go very far. But I had to give them $41.37 of my $45 just in duty fees. So it's upsetting and it's unfair. And anyways, so I didn't know until they come to the mailman came and tells me, oh, here's your duty fees. So usually if you can't pay right away, then they'll bring it back to the wherever delivery service. So here it's Canada Post that was delivering. So they'll bring it back to the post office. You have a certain amount of days. If you don't pay, they ship it back and you don't get your product. So I just want to make sure people understand duty fees. So if you decide to order seeds or anything else outside the country, don't be surprised if you have to pay a duty fee. So here's another reason to be a little more cautious when it comes to seeds. Now, I do want to say that I mostly only order from Rainbow Seeds, not just because I have a discount code. I've been ordering from them for years before I had a discount code because they have excellent germination rates, very high quality. They're all heirloom. Plus, they're very cheaply priced and you get a lot of seeds in the package. And it's family-owned business and they have excellent customer service and I like to support them. They have amazing product, good prices, and it's a good company. It's a good family. So I always order from them, but sometimes there's things or varieties I want and I can't get them from Rainbow Seeds. So sometimes I'll order from another company, but I try not to. Anyways, order from this place in Ukraine, they say. The prices are cheap, they say. Well, duty fees are not cheap. So anyways, I tried it for the first time, but okay. So I went to this seed company in Ukraine and, I would say most of the packages of seeds are $1 or $1 something. And for the most part, you get a pretty good amount of seeds in them. So I'm impressed. Some of the packages, you only get a little bit. But, I'm mainly just looking for stuff that I can't get, that I wasn't able to get on Rainbow Seeds or varieties they don't have. So I tried really hard to be very, careful and just get what I can't get here. So for one thing, I've never really grown flowers other than nasturtiums, but I've never really grown flowers. And I really wanted to grow a whole bunch of flowers this year. So many reasons. One, because they're beautiful, but I want to put as many around my house as I possibly can to make it look beautiful because I'm hoping I'll be able to have it ready to sell in the summer and I want it to look beautiful. I also want to have lots of flowers that I can cut and bring in the house and make that look even more beautiful. So I did want to get a lot of flowers and I love snapdragons in a flower arrangement. So I'd love to have some beautiful colored snapdragons mixed with some asters and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I did get some flowers. So unfortunately, if you notice, it's not in English. So that's a bit of an issue I have because the website was English and the seeds in the Ziploc bags are all English. So I'm happy that they have English on here, but all the pretty packages are not in English. But it's okay because they have pictures and they're beautiful. But I can always go on the website and I can look up whatever it looks like it is and just match the pictures. Or I think they have English and Ukrainian and I can match it up and I can get the name. So when it comes time to actually germinate my seeds and I want to label them, I can actually use the website as a reference. I believe this one might be the lilac. I think I ordered a mix of the lilac bushes because I had to pull all the ones out in my front yard and I didn't have an option to replant or anything. They had to all just come down real quick. So anyways, I thought, well, I'm going to try and germinate some lilac trees and put them back because they smell so good. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you real quick all the different ones. You can pause it if you want to read the varieties. But I want to show you this really cool packaging because I've never seen it before. I got this and this is a weird kind of packaging. Look at it. And then I opened it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never seen that before. So they have it like that. It's very different. So, yeah. Trying to see if I can get it clear, but anyways, so this is the back. Again, it's not in English. Oh, right here. Okay, so they do have a sticker on it. Thank God. So that's nice. That helps. I can at least go on the website and look up the information on that one. Let me see. Okay, never mind. I just noticed it. So they all have stickers on the back. It is lilac or lilac. So anyways, so I'll just show you real quick. You can see the pictures. And then, aren't those so pretty? And then down here I have, okay, look at this. This one right here. Garden Nasturtium Coral Glitter. So, Cocoa, oh my gosh, this is what I'm working with. I highly doubt they have glitter on them, but still, it says glitter. So, and then I got a whole bunch of petunias and sweet peas. They smell so amazing. I love sweet peas. Asters. I got some zinnias, my sweet peas. These are mostly all my onions. These are for next year. I wanted to get some onions for next year. These ones didn't fit on the tray, but so just grouped them there. But oh, there's another petunia. And then on this side here is my melons. Look at that. These are, okay, look how many watermelon varieties there are. Let's see if I can get this one over here too. There are so many different kinds of watermelons that I did not have. Well, I think I had one of them, but I just got extra. But there's a lot of varieties of watermelon. So, and it's one of my favorite things is watermelon. And I am determined to grow watermelon. So last many years at the grocery stores, when I see watermelons, every single time they say seedless. So I have not had a watermelon in many years. And then I did just recently see seeded ones, but they're so disgusting. They're squishy and they're just weird. So I want so badly to grow watermelon. So I am going to try, but most of these seeds I highly doubt I'm going to use this year. This is mainly to make sure I have them for next year. Some of them I might use, like the flowers, but the onions, I'm going to use the onions I already have. And this is for next year because it's always important. I always want to try and have seeds for the next year ahead of time. So I don't have to deal with, oh, some mail strike, or, oh, there's a health event and everything's closed down, or all kinds of people are buying their seeds and now they're sold out. So I'm going to take you over and show you the other side. Okay. Let me see. I get so much glare from the sun here, so hopefully you're not blinded. Here's my other haul. So here's the other half. So I want to show you some different kinds of marigolds here. Or was it calendula? I think one might have been calendula and one's marigold. Anyways, so look how beautiful. Aren't these gorgeous? So I want to make some really nice flower gardens all around the house and on the deck and everywhere. But I also want to have like cut flowers in the house. And I absolutely love pretty colors, especially pastels. So I'm just going to come over this way here. Okay, so we got these ones here. But isn't this pretty? Look at that. It's like pink and white. This one right here. So I found some really beautiful flowers this way here. And then look at that. Isn't that cute? I think these ones are carnations, but aren't those pretty? And these ones are pretty too. So really pleased with the flowers, and I'm going to make sure I take videos of everything, and when I germinate these, I'm definitely going to make sure everything is well labeled. So as I'm growing stuff, if there's something that you really like, you're like, oh my gosh, that turned out beautiful. Or if I cut my flowers, bring them in the house, and it's a really beautiful arrangement, I can actually tell you what flowers are actually in that arrangement, like what varieties and all that good stuff. So there are the flowers over here. And then, oh, also I got 2 extra marigolds. There's a Mexican and a Mexican marigold Alaska and a Mexican marigold classic mix. Now I'm going to go over here and show you. So I got a couple extra peppers. I want to try and find large varieties of things so it's more efficient. So if I'm going to grow peppers, I want the biggest peppers there are to grow, so I can get the most amount of food on one plant. So I really want to have efficient things. And I also wanted to have some stuff that would be really good to freeze dry too, because once I sell the house and move, I believe, if I'm very frugal, I live very simply and stuff, I should be able to get a freeze dryer and a couple other things on my list that I want so badly but are way overpriced. So, you know, I do want to try and get, like, grow cayenne pepper so that I can make my own caplets, and just some other things that are really good to freeze dry, especially my spices and herbs. I want to freeze dry them. And so I did get a little extra, but peppers, definitely want to try these, especially the giants. Like, well, this one says giant, but they don't look giant. But this one does look giant. That looks huge. So I'm going to try those, see how they work. And, you know, at these prices, even though the packages are cheap, it adds up and it's expensive, plus duty fees. So I definitely want to try and make sure that I'm able to save seed. So see, I don't think I'm going to be able to plant all of this year because I don't have the raised beds because I didn't have the wood. So when I move then and I sell this house, I will be able to have all the raised beds put in place. So what my plan is to have several gardens around the property, because most plants, you only need a certain amount of space between the same plant so they don't cross-pollinate. So if you want to grow like different tomatoes, you only have to have each variety spaced out a certain space to prevent cross-pollination. So I do want to actually have several gardens going where they have the same things, it's just different varieties, and then I can save all my seeds. So my goal is to be able to save my seeds so I don't have to keep spending money. So this is basically an investment. So whatever I plant, I want to make sure I'm saving seed and I'm getting way more back than what I spent. And I also am hoping to have a whole lot extra so that I can share them with everyone else. And there are some pumpkins right here. I really want to grow pumpkins. I love pumpkin pie, and there's so much good stuff you can make with pumpkins, but it's also really good, especially for animals and the pumpkin seeds and all that good stuff. But I did learn that there is a particular pumpkin that they use mainly for saving pumpkin seed. I believe it's the hulless. I think what this one is there's no shell on the seed. So when you scoop your pumpkin seeds out, it's not going to be a white shell like that, where it's white. It's actually just going to be the seed. There's no shell. So I think that's what they use for pumpkin seeds that they sell at the store and you eat. But anyways, I'm planning hopefully to get chickens this year. So I definitely want to make sure I'm having things like lots of pumpkins so they can eat the pumpkin seeds, and it's just natural dewormers and it's healthy for them, all those goodies. Plus I have rescues and I can also mix that in because I make their own food. So I did get some extra pumpkins, varieties that I don't have or did never heard of. So I do want to try those. And then here's some more peppers too. They didn't have the pretty packaging, but these are some more of the peppers. And then I have some dill. So I love dill. It smells so amazing, and I like to dry it and then mix it in things like cream cheese or sour cream. Or there's a lot of stuff you can make with dill. A lot of people make dill pickles. Now, I love dill pickles, but I also know things that you're not really going to find. They don't tell you health places and all that stuff. And even on the internet, a lot of things you can't find unless you know what you're looking for. But vinegar is a neurotoxin. So I have actually tried very hard to cut all vinegar out. I only use it for cleaning. So once in a while, I will have dill pickles if I just once in a while, but I try not to. So I personally don't make them because it has vinegar, but there's a lot you can do with dill, and I believe it also repels pests too. Anyways, so I got lots of dill, and I think that's a red cabbage or purple cabbage. And then these here, I think it is a basil, and I'm not sure I think two are basil, I'm not sure. I have to check the back of them. But there's some basils here, there. And then I'm pretty sure that's a purple basil. And then we have some broccoli here. The packages are gorgeous. They're so pretty. I love these. Are my favorite packagings. And there's a package of broccoli and some squash. Now, this is another thing because if I go online, if I want zucchini, sometimes I have to look under squash to find the zucchini. Sometimes they have it separate, but I don't know, squash and zucchini, some things will say, oh, it's a squash, and it'll have the variety. But then sometimes they'll be under the varieties, you click on zucchini, and it has the same variety. So that's one of the things that I find. It's a little bit of a pain to have to sort through because they just mix and match the names. And then here is some sunflower. And then I got one extra cauliflower because I don't know that variety. I don't remember what that one is. And that's it's a round zucchini. I've never seen a round zucchini, so I'm going to try that. Then a celery, and then we have these up here. And then over here are just some extra ones, like just some random ones. And there's like a lemon mint, peppermint, sweet leaf. There is, I have stevia in here too. And then feverfew. If you don't know, there's different varieties of feverfew. I got sunball and snowball. And then there's a white mustard, a bush bean chessboard. Bush bean chessboard. And then we have some over here, one tomato. I have so many tomatoes, but I want the biggest, best tomatoes, and that one looked amazing, and I don't think I had it. Cumin, I already had cumin, but I just thought, well, I'll try it from a different country and then see if there actually is a difference. But for the most part, this is my seed haul. So I just want to show you what I got because I love seeds. And yeah, if there's something that turns out really, really nice, I highly recommend it. I can at least let you know what the variety is. And then if you like it, then it's something you can look into growing. Well, like I said, I'm trying to make sure that I'm only growing things that I'm able to grow so it won't cross-pollinate, and that includes flowers. So I want to make sure that I'm not planting anything unless it's planted properly. So this year, fortunately, I'm pretty sure I will be able to actually have a proper garden and everything will get planted on time, so I actually have a harvest. So I think I'll be able to do okay this year. But I don't think I'll be able to have, all the raised beds and have the kind of garden that I need and want. But I will at least have some things. And most of this is probably going to be for next year. But I do want to get a lot of the flowers planted because it just makes it nice when you're trying to sell a house. So hopefully you learned something about duty fees and customs, and you can make sure that, you can do things to avoid it. So yeah, you might see, oh wow, I can get seeds from another country that are reasonably priced, they're really nice. But then when you factor in duty fees, may not be as cheap as you think. So it's just another reason to, buy stuff where you know what you're going to be charged. So, I know Rainbow Seeds does ship to the US, and I have not heard of anyone having paid duty fees, thank God. But I would highly recommend, if you want your seeds, to make your purchases ASAP just in case those tariffs get into place pretty soon, because I will tell you that Rainbow Seeds, not only is it a great company, they have excellent prices and all that goodies, but if you're in the US and you go on Rainbow Seeds, those prices are in Canadian currency. So if you say you purchase $110 worth of stuff and you have it in your cart and you go to checkout, if you use my discount code OCEAN10, you get 10% off. So now you're down to $100, but that's Canadian currency. So when you pay for it, whatever card that you use, debit, credit, your card is only going to be charged in US. So with the current exchange rate, which updates, I believe it's every 7 minutes at the banks, and each bank has their, it's maybe slightly different. Usually right now it's between $1.35, $1.40, and the exchange rate keeps increasing, fortunately for me. And so anyways, so if you are down to say $100, okay, and you go to check out, well, the exchange rate is probably going to be about 35 cents to 40 cents. So what you're doing is you're taking that percent off. So instead of it being $100, you're actually going to minus like $35 to $40 off of that $100. So your $110 total after the 10% discount and then the exchange rate, when you check your bank account after you make your purchase, you're probably only going to be charged around maybe like $65, $70. So not only do they have excellent prices and you get a lot of seeds in the packages, and the germinations rates are excellent and all that stuff, and it's heirloom, but you're also getting it way cheaper than it already is. So if you're looking for seeds, I highly recommend to check out rainbowseeds.ca. If you see seeds that you want, grab them now, just so you have a better chance of not being charged duty fees, which are tariffs. Well, basically, yeah, it's just a little different, but your duty fees, you're going to get charged that. But when companies are being charged a tariff, they're then going to add that to the price of what they're selling you. So duty fees, yeah, you're going to get that when it comes to your door and you pay that to the government. But when you have tariffs, the companies are going to up their prices to cover that. So you can actually be double charged. So the tariffs are going to increase the prices of everything you buy. So that's one thing. But then you can still be charged duty fees. So you're just going to get charged two things, or potentially charged two extra expenses. So you can be charged more money for things to cover tariffs. Then when it comes to your door, you can be charged duty fees. So, just to help give a better chance of either not being charged any fees or being charged the least amount, I would highly recommend to get your purchases now. And generally, in my experience, as long as I'm spending $150 or less, so far I've not been charged duty fees. Now, technically you can be charged duty fees on any dollar amount, but in general, for me, I personally have not been charged duty fees on $150 or less. It's always been, if I spend over $150 outside of something coming from outside the country, that's when they like to tack on their duty fees. So, just heads up, if you want to try and, make sure you're getting the best prices and avoid extra fees, now is the time. Plus, it's always good to have your seeds, as soon as possible to make sure that you're getting first dibs before things sell out. And so you don't have to worry about mail strikes or health events or other things. So in general, it's good to get your seeds ASAP, especially now, but it's also going to be a good idea to get them before they start raising prices because of tariffs. And, I've looked at a lot of companies in the US that I like some varieties on and their prices, and I was actually quite shocked because I expected prices to be cheaper, and they're not. I used to like Baker Creek because they had some good varieties, but good gracious, like $5 and $6 for some of their packs of seeds, and you hardly get any seeds in them. Plus, they support their 501(c) stuff, and I don't want anything to do with that. But anyways, so Baker Creek, yeah, they're good for varieties you can't get elsewhere, but their prices are ridiculous and unaffordable. And there's a lot of other companies that are really expensive. So, I not only am I happy with Rainbow Seeds because I've used them forever and it's a good family company, but like I said, their prices are excellent and they're even cheaper if you're in the US. So just a heads up, might be a good time to stock up now if you need seeds. And if you do what I do, this is a mistake I hope you don't ever have to make. So, I ordered my seeds from out of the country. Of course, I spent more than I usually do to avoid duty fees. I didn't think it'd be a problem, and it was. So yeah, you might think, oh, well, if it's cheaper, but no, sometimes it turns out it isn't cheaper. So anyways, and it seems like a nice company, but when you're dealing with duty fees and stuff, that's where it gets a problem. Now, if you only ordered a small amount, then obviously you're probably not going to pay duty fees, but then you're probably going to pay shipping because I ordered a large amount, I didn't have to pay shipping. So that part was nice. But like I said, it just one of those things. If you order just a couple things, then may not be paying duty, but now you're paying shipping. So with rainbow seeds, they do have reasonable shipping. I believe Canada and US, if you spend at least $50, you get free shipping. And you're also getting cheaper prices in the US. So it's kind of a win-win. So check them out. I'll put the link in the description of this video. And my cats, I'm bothering them right now. So this is their playroom. They've got their own bed, their cat trees, all their toys, and I'm in their way. So I'm going to end this and get all my work table cleaned up so they can have their playroom back. And I will see you on the next video. So hopefully you learned something about how to be prepared for duty fees and what they are. Some people don't even know what that is. And also where to get seeds. So yeah, it seems like a nice company, but personally I won't buy from them again because I'd rather just, I'm just going to save my seeds. But yeah, I would rather just order whatever Rainbow Seeds has, and I don't care about other varieties. So anyways, I hope you all have an amazing day, an awesome growing season, and you have abundance in all your gardens and have the most fun, and it's very peaceful and exciting. So I'll see you in my next video, and hopefully you'll have everything you need for your gardens and with the best prices. So I will see you tomorrow.